This is gonna blow someone's mind.
Hello guys, how are you today? I'm quite okay today. It's a sunny day to begin. That's a good thing to start with. Yeah, I'm quite in a good mood. 2 days ago, I met with my BFF Lisa. So we met at Gare Saint-Lazare, and then we just walked a little bit. But you know, it's quite sad to just walk in Paris because of the pandemic. You know, everything is closed, and there is nothing to see really in the city. Oh yeah, I was just happy because I found one of the huge posters Mika, the singer Mika, did. Actually, he didn't do it by himself, but he just asked to different artists to make posters to put on the Colonne Maurice. And then we just walked a little bit to the Champs-Élysées because in this moment too there is a kind of exhibition, like outside exhibition on the Champs-Élysées of Philippe Gueluc, who is a comic artist. His character is named Le Chat, like the cat. Some of his drawings actually were made into statues. And yeah, so we just walked a little bit, then we just came back to her Airbnb. She also offered me some birthday presents. Let me show you. She got me this little combo soup can.
Hey!
Isn't it so cute? With all the details and stuff. And she also got me the tiny roasted chicken. Yeah, that was really great to see her. I almost forgot what I was going to talk about today. So on the last video, I think we were talking about my never-ending creation process. So I finished the video by saying that I wanted to change something in my way to approach my art projects.
Okay.
So yeah, what I did is that I decided to start something without knowing where I was going, basically, you know.
Okay.
And as I said, I wanted to try something I never tried before, using tools I never tried before.
Okay.
Something that really interests me is pottery, and I really would like to have some pottery lessons. But here in Paris, it is again pretty expensive. I was like, okay, I can't make pottery, but I want to make something, you know, in 3D, not only drawings or paintings, but in 3D, you know, and playing with volumes and playing with the shapes. I'm always scared of the neighbors, you know, because I have my window open, and so when the neighbors pass by, you know, they can easily see me talking to a camera alone in my living room, you know. I'm always a bit stressed. So yeah, I really wanted to do pottery, but that was definitely too expensive, you know. So I was like, okay, how can I still do something in volume, in 3D, but in a cheap way, you know, in a cheap version. And I tried something pretty basic, but I promise you that I never tried it before. It's papier mâché, which is in French papier mâché. And yeah, I never did papier mâché when I was a kid or anything, even at school or at home, or never. I never did it.
Whoa, seriously?
You know, I was like, well, yeah, that can be pretty cheap, and also I really like it because it's kind of responsible, eco-responsible stuff, you know, because by doing papier mâché you are also doing recycling, you know. So I was, yeah, that's pretty good, you know. I like the idea of making my art by recycling stuff, you know. And also this cheap way to work, I also like it, not just because it is cheap and so I don't have to spend money on it, but also because, I mean, I think it's kind of encouraging to create even when you don't have special tools or special, yeah, paper, special paintings, special, you know, like, I really like these kind of DIY punk spirit in the creation. Like, you can create stuff even when you don't have nothing, you know what I mean. I really like these yeah, mentality. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do paper mache. So I started a mask. I started my first mask. Didn't want to be too crazy about it, because that was the first time that I was doing paper mache, you know. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna start with something pretty simple, pretty basic, not doing like a huge mask, a huge one, but a simple one, you know. Let's start simple.
Maybe about this big. Or this big.
So I started with a cardboard that I just cut from some, again, delivery packages or something. And then I added some paper just to make some shapes and trying to give it a little bit of relief. And then I painted it. It ended like, it looks like me, actually. Well, it was not a complete surprise at the end, you know, but during the process, trying to put some volume on it, I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a nose. Maybe a nose could be good to add a little bit of relief. And then maybe the cheeks, and then maybe the eyebrows, and then maybe the chin, you know. So I was like trying to, yeah, add a little bit of volumes. And by doing that, I actually, yeah, started to make something that looked like me, with, you know, big cheeks and pointy nose and yeah, like bubbly chin. I don't like my chin. That I really don't like that. There is too much flesh on my chin. Anyway, the mask ended looking like me, which is pretty weird, you know, to wear a mask of yourself, but I thought it could be interesting at the end.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I had this mask and I was like, nice, okay, well, let's try it, you know, like, let's try it on and let's do some pictures, because that's the point of a mask. You can't just have a mask and take pictures of a mask, you know. That is not interesting. I did it just for myself and just to remember the different steps I went through to make the mask. But I pretty quickly realized that that was not really interesting, you know, just a picture of a mask like that. No, that's better when you have someone to wear the mask. And at that time, I had no one else than myself to wear the mask.
Oh no!
I took some bits of old costumes I had before, because yeah, I really like costumes for a long time, you know, that's not something new. I always really loved to do carnival at school, even more because I went to art school. So in art school, even if you're grown up, you still yeah, make costumes for carnival, and you come you come in class, you know, wearing costumes and makeup and stuff.
I successfully bedazzled my face! Blink!
Didn't do that for a long time, but I did that before for a long time. So I just took some bits of old costumes I had and trying to make a new one, a kind of new one. Pretty simple, again, pretty basic. Yeah, it was already locked down in France, and we were not really supposed to go out or to stay out for too long, you know. So I just went outside my building, and there is this tiny street, and the street is very, very narrow, so I thought it would be pretty quiet and with not so much people passing by and looking at me while I was doing my clown stuff. So yeah, I just went in that little street, and with my phone and with my tripod, making my own pictures of myself. Also, the street is, I like it for pictures because the walls, there are different kind of walls, you know, because there are different buildings, and so there are different kinds of texture for the backgrounds. A little bit destroyed as aesthetics, you know, a little bit destroyed as aesthetic. I made the mistake twice. Gosh, of course, I met some neighbors and I was like, oh my god, this is so hard to make weird stuff outside in front of everyone, and even if there is not so much people, it is still so terrifying. Yeah, I mean, it's so scary, you know, you're acting like a fool alone and you're filming yourself while you're doing it, you know, and yeah, that is kind of strange. Even if I know that they don't really care, but yeah, I'm still a bit like, that is scary. Probably took something like 1 or 2 hours actually, finding the costumes and then going outside and trying to find the good place to make the pictures, and then making some first tests and then making it for real, you know. And so yeah, that probably took me something like yeah, almost 2 hours or something. So 2 hours of not being really really sure of what I was doing, you know, and being really, really uncomfortable. But then after that, I was pretty proud of myself, and I was really proud I did it.
Congratulations! Whee! Whee!
And I was also pretty well surprised by the result, you know, by the pictures, also because I was making the pictures by myself, you know, so I had to put these, I don't know how you say it in English, you know, like le retardateur, but there was nobody, you know, in the other side of the camera to tell me if the framing was okay. So it was only after all that I could see the pictures and see that, oh, actually that's better than I thought, you know. So yeah, that was very encouraging. But at that time, I didn't put anything on the mask to really put it on my head, you know, on my face. So I always had to hold it. To hold it? To hold it? No, to hold it. I always had to hold it, so I always had to, yeah, find some kind of moves movements, and because that's what I wanted, you know, I wanted to, yeah, kind of incarnate the mask, you know, that's everything about a mask, you know, there's a character behind. I really wanted some movement and some kind of dancing on the pictures, and because I have long hair, I thought it could be interesting to bring some life and some energy in the picture by the movement of my hair. So I was like really playing with my hair and stuff, and yeah, so I pretty liked it, but it was a little bit annoying to have to hold the mask. I posted these first pictures on Instagram, and I was pretty happy also about the reaction of people, you know. That was also pretty encouraging. This is such a pain. Every 20 minutes I have to upload the video I made from my phone to my computer so I can keep going in making the videos. Anyway, so I wanted to do that again, but not alone anymore. So again, I called BFF Lisa to come to my rescue, you know, and yeah, and help me with that, and work with me basically. Lisa is a pretty good photographer. She really makes me very comfortable in front of the camera. I called her and I was like, okay, what about going to holidays, but not really for holidays, not for party or anything, also because last summer, you know, it was again lockdown everywhere in France, you know, so even if you could go out, bars were still open, but they already had to close pretty early, you know, in the night, so we couldn't think about going to clubs like we usually do when we go in holidays together. So I was like, okay, what about not going in holidays, proper holidays, but how about doing some kind of art residency? And we just take time to work, you know, and maybe to work together, but also to work on our own projects. Because she also has a YouTube channel, and she also does everything by herself, you know, so like the filming and then the editing and stuff. So I knew she would probably have something to work on too, you know. So I was like, okay, what about we get a Airbnb like we do, but not in the city, but maybe in the suburb, let's say in the suburb, just to have a garden or to be next to, I don't know, some forests or a park or something like that. Something a little bit more quiet, you know, than usual. We decided to go to Bordeaux, which is a city in the south of France. So I brought with me in my luggage, I brought some costumes and I brought the mask, and I didn't really know what I will be using for costumes, so I actually brought a lot, but also thinking, okay, I'm gonna improvise this time, you know, I'm not gonna plan and I'm just gonna improvise, and let's just bring some stuff that seems funny or cool, or and we'll see. And so yeah, we had this Airbnb with a little garden, but on the pictures it looked better than in reality. I mean, not better, but bigger and also greener. I was like, okay, we don't have a luxuriant garden as we thought we would have. I don't know, let's make it cheap, you know, let's make it rough, let's make it yeah, destroyed and strange. So I just bought, this elastic stuff, so I could really like put the mask on me, and it was way easier to do stuff with that. So we used some props we had in the garden, and it was very, very fun. A friend of mine who is from Bordeaux told me before we went that it could be interesting to visit the la base sous-marine de Bordeaux.
You sure this tip is good, Flambeau?
Okay, so we decided to go there. That was so much fun. The place was really good. We were just next to a road. The place was again a very industrial and destroyed kind of place. There were some random props around, strange but really great to play with them, and really easy to play with them, Also, the mask helps a lot, because that seems stupid, but when you wear a mask, you feel pretty safe. Nobody can really, recognize you. I felt pretty safe, even if some people saw us doing our weird stuff, but I felt pretty safe, and that was really liberating actually. So I could really act like I wanted, and I could really, dance and pose weirdly and stuff. Actually, we took pictures until we couldn't take pictures anymore, because the sun was really gone. It was really night, and we didn't have flashlights, for the camera. It was a good surprise to see the pictures I took myself weeks before. But I mean, that is definitely better when there is someone to take pictures of you, and you can change the angle, and you can, play with the camera and stuff. That's so much better. And again, Lisa is a really good photographer, and I was really, really happy to see the pictures she took. But at that time, I still didn't know what I was doing for real. Like I didn't have any project in my mind. I just made this mask, just took some bits of costumes to make costumes, and I was just fooling around, like playing around with that, dancing and stuff. But I didn't have any any story in my mind, or any message, or anything I wanted to express. I was just playing.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And it's actually when I saw the pictures that something appeared, something started to make sense. This character just gave birth to itself. Just something was there in the picture, and it was something I didn't plan. That's why I say the character gave birth to itself. It's because I didn't think it before. I just didn't know what I was doing, but the pictures just spoke by themselves, and it was again a very, very good surprise, and so then I started to write about the story of this character. There was a kind of contrast, in the pictures. I really like this contrast between children and childhood, and something more disenchanted, dark, or broken, or destroyed, or gloomy. I really like this contrast. I thought it was a pretty good picture of me having some troubles to grow up, actually. I'm a 90s kid, and I grew up with all the pop culture of the 90s, the cartoons and the comics, I always was really into fantasy and fiction. I never had like band posters on my walls or anything. I had manga characters posters or comics characters posters. There is still big child part in me, and sometimes I feel a little bit à côté de la plaque.
You are never gonna make sense, are you, kid?
I don't mind, I don't dislike it. Sometimes I'm quite an adult and sometimes I'm very childish, and that's okay. That's okay. But I want to explore it at the same time, I want to play with it at the same time. Yeah, I know I just said that wearing a mask and a costume put a distance between myself and the character, and it was like it wasn't me and stuff. But when I was posing, I didn't know how I looked like. But then, looking at the pictures, it was obvious that this tea is not so far from me, and there is a kind of resemblance between her and I. Yeah, it's like this tea is a little bit exaggerated myself. And I had in mind this French song, which is about disenchanted generation. From Mylène Farmer, for the ones who know her. Also, something I never stopped watching is documentaries about mental health. And I came across the word dysthymia, which is a little known form of depression actually, but this is pretty common, so it's a pretty sneaky kind of depression, So that word, dysthymia, decided the name of the character, Dysty. So for now, I posted some of the pictures we took with Lisa on Instagram, and you can see it on my Instagram if you want to, and you can read the lines I wrote and stuff in English. It's all in English. And I also made a kind of making of the photo shooting we made with Lisa. And actually, I would like to post the backstage video on YouTube, but I have another set of pictures I didn't post, so I wanted to post the pictures before, because in the video there would be some spoiler, but I don't want to only post pictures of the same shooting, I would like to be able to mix it with some other pictures which don't have anything related to the photo shoot, but just to have something a little bit more diverse on my Instagram, But the problem is that I have nothing else to post on Instagram at that time, because of my teaching job and stuff, so I wasn't really able to work on my own project these past 6 months, actually.
Oh, donkey spittle!
I need time, I need time to think for real and to really get into the work, I can't work for 10 minutes on that and then for 15 minutes on that, I really need to take time and think about what I want to say and how I want to say it, the precise words. So to me it's pretty long to write, and couldn't really do it in the last month because my mind was more into students and lessons, teaching, marking. I hate marking.
Yeah, nothing evil.
School year will end in 2 months. Then I will be able to work on my own project, and then I will be able to show you something a bit more in the present time also. All these last videos were more about what was before, what happened before, and before now. So much strange noises. So now we enter the present time, and I don't know what I'm gonna show you. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you would be interested in to see, to watch, to listen to, I don't know. And I hope you're well, and I wish you good day and good inspiration and good creation time. Bye bye!